last time you're going to see that. You're not going to see that anymore, I'm afraid. No, because the next time that we're on, it will be after the 12 days of Christmas. Oh, never mind. Good morning, morning, studio. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, thank you. We're on here. Thanks for the music. You can go and have a cup of tea. Sorry, just talking to the staff. You can go and have a cup of tea now if you want. Good morning to you, boys and girls. Welcome to Bracknell here in Royal Berkshire on this Saturday, the 2nd of January 2021. Welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom talk. Hope you're well today, gang. Yes, that's the last time you'll see a little Christmas intro. How sad is that? Yeah. I know what some of you are saying. Christmas is over. It's not. It's not. It's the 12 days of Christmas. How many times do I have to keep telling you? Oh, but we've taken our Christmas decorations down. Well, bad luck to you then. Bad luck that is taken. Don't be telling me you won't walk under a ladder because it's bad luck, and yet you take your Christmas decorations down before the 12 days of Christmas is over. Let me tell you, Mark. Let me tell you now. There's a lot worse luck you get for taking Christmas decorations down before the 12th day than you get from walking under some soppy little ladder that's sticking out on the street, darlings. Very, very dangerous. Yes, and this as well. My sister, I was having a FaceTime with my sister this morning, which was, at that time of the morning, it's very scary to see her face. And she said, this is a very scary Father Christmas I've got. Again, last time you'll see the Christmas drake jumpers this year. I've had these about 10 years. The same ones revolve every year. Why buy new when you can use old? I've said that to you before. Don't waste. Even David Attenborough says that. And my nan used to say that. You mustn't. My mum used to say that. You mustn't waste things. Yes, exactly. I'm remembering today especially. I'd like to dedicate this entire show to one of the kindest, nicest, most dedicated fathers anyone could possibly have, my dad, who today has been gone an amazing 25 years. My God, 25 years my father's been gone today. Can't believe it. Mum just passed her 20th anniversary back in November. Today it's Dad. And I always remember it was, I just DJ'd on a New Year's Eve. I think it was either the New Year's Eve or the New Year's Day. And my dad was already in the hospital. He'd had a stroke. And what happened, according to my mum, was he was sitting there, literally just sitting there having his breakfast, and he fell into his breakfast bowl like that. Like that. She called an ambulance. They took him to hospital. He didn't come back from the hospital, unfortunately. But he'd been in there a while, and on the way back home from my DJing gig, I popped into the hospital to see him, which was Queen Mary's Hospital in Roehampton. It's different there now. They do. I'm not sure if they. I don't think they do emergency work there anymore. It was a large hospital. Anyway, I went there to see him. It would have been, I don't know, very early in the morning, maybe 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And I popped in. Can I just see my dad? And the nurse, yes, he's just over there. So I went over there and. He kind of woke up. He couldn't speak at this point anymore. The stroke had taken away his speech. And I tried to talk to him, and he just kept pointing at the light. And he said to me, the light. I said, what light? That light up there, yeah. And I knew what he meant, of course. And he's sitting there looking right. I said, what are you worried about? He said, and of course he couldn't talk. I said, are you worried about Mum? And I said, I'll look after her. And then he kind of had a little bit of a smile on his face. Of course, as is the case with, I think, most people you'll find who have lost one of their parents, they will always tell you they didn't do enough. And I will quite happily sit here, not happily. I will quite honestly sit here and say, I didn't do enough for my mother or my father. My father, as I say, now I'm older, I know he was one of the most kindest people in the world. But in my younger man years, I just didn't talk to him. He would try and talk to me, and I wouldn't want to talk to him back. And when he used to answer the phone, can I have Mum, please? I just didn't want to talk to him. And I don't know why. But again, as time has gone on, I come across other fathers who are of my age now, yeah? And they have the same problem with their sons. There's just nothing going on. sort of. But that doesn't mean, of course, they don't love them. And I am able to say to them, well, I was like that with my dad. I didn't appreciate things. He would get up early in the morning to take me to work at the weekends. He didn't have to get up. 6:30 in the morning. On a Saturday, he didn't have to get up. He used to get up, take me to work. I would complain bitterly if he was like 10 seconds late. He used to carry stuff up the stairs and I never thanked him. Never thanked him, gave him anything, and I know other people like this. Other fathers who are my age now, sort of 50, 55, 60 sort of thing, who have exactly the same with their sons. They do things for their sons and they never get a word of thanks. But I am able to say to him, well, actually, yeah, he does love you. It just seems to be how it is for some reason, and I have no idea why. I really have no idea why. But that being said, every night I talk to my mother and father who are not here. I'm sure one or two of you do the same there. So I'd just like to dedicate this programme to him today. I'm not talking about my dad the whole programme. Just telling you bits and pieces. Birthdays and Christmases. Oh my God! I mean, the cakes that used to come home for birthdays. The cakes he used to bring these. He worked for the Evening Standard, you see. And he used to get up in the morning, every morning, never late for work, never not turn into work unless he was really, really, really ill. And I can't remember a single day that my father had off ill. People used to struggle to work in those days, but I still do now. Maybe that's where I get it from. If you employ me to do something, you'll find I'll never be late and I won't ring in sick unless I'm really, really sick. All these pathetic people, aren't they? Oh, I've cut my finger. I can't go to work today. I've got a bit of a sore throat. Or they get someone else to ring in for them. It's pathetic. Pathetic. Different mindset, I suppose. Oh, the cakes, the birthday cakes. There's one particular birthday cake. I don't know how old I was on this particular birthday, but it had blue icing, and I just remember it as being the most delicious cake, even to this day. The most delicious cake I have ever had in my life. One particular birthday cake that came in, I think it came from somewhere in Fleet Street, because as I say, he worked in the Evening Standard at the newspapers. Fleet Street, first of all, then he went to, the newspapers all started merging. I think he then became something to do with the Daily Express. And I went up the offices once. It was an amazing place. So noisy in a newspaper place. He had these glass walls and things like that. And his boss was a bloke called Bill Dighton. Yeah. And he took me round and showed us how it was all working. There were no computers. Oh no, there was a bloke making these like frames, big wooden frame, and they would print out these letters in metal. This machine would make metal sort of sentences and letters, and another bloke would come along and he'd have to put all these metal bits together in this frame, and it would be like the reverse of a newspaper page. And of course, when you put a piece of paper over it, they would apply ink to this thing, all on a machine. It wouldn't be someone doing it. Apply ink to this frame of letters and words, and then a piece of paper would come down on top of it, and there was a page from a newspaper. It was amazing, really. Ever so noisy in there it was. I seem to remember that. Yeah. And another memory I've got is when he took us to the cinema for the first time. The first film I saw at the cinema, it was either Bedknobs and Broomsticks, that's the one I think it was, or Tora, Tora, Tora. One of those two. We went to the Marble Arch, certainly for Bedknobs and Broomsticks, Marble Arch Odeon, which is still there. And sitting there, and all of a sudden the lights went out because it was the 1970s. We kept having power cuts. Anyway, that's my dad. Let's read some of your messages this morning. Firing in. If you're in the chat box, that's for you to talk to each other. I don't come into the chat box at all. So if you're trying to send me in a message on the chat box, I can't see it. You need to send a text, please. Send a text to the number in the top left-hand corner there. Okay. 07551 259 675 is my text number. 07551 259 675. Or You can send an email, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. There's a phone line as well, which I'll be opening in a little while in case anyone wants to call in as well. You don't have to call in. That's all right. You know, I don't need phone calls to keep going. But if you want to, that facility will be there for you in a moment or two. Okay, let's do some of your messages then. Good morning to Michael Pullman, who says, hope you're well and have a blessed weekend. And blessed are you, Lord God of all creation. Through your goodness we have this bread to offer, which earth has given and human hands have made. Blessed be God forever. I'm just saying that for Shania. And after Shania's, if you were with us New Year's Eve, you would have seen Shania playing us into New Year's Eve this year, which was rather marvellous, I have to say. Congratulations, Shania. In fact, after that performance, Shania, I've decided to try and get you elevated into the Catholic Church. At the moment, Shania is already in charge of Catholics on the Isle of Wight. You don't know that. I'm gonna push the boat out here for you, Shania. I'm gonna try and get you as the first female pope. I think you would be an excellent pope, darling. And if I may, you know the bloke who stands next to the Pope? I don't know if you've ever seen videos. I'm sure you have actually on YouTube and things like that. There's a bloke that's always standing next to the Pope. Have you noticed him? He's got a thin face and he's got glasses and he appears to tell others what to do. I don't know what his name is. You know the one I mean, don't you? He's got like an old face. He could almost look like a Doctor Who. I think he could play Doctor Who in that excellent long-running BBC television show, which I saw last night. Oh, amazing! And it was in UHD. You don't know what that is, do you? No, that's ultra high definition. It looked absolutely fantastic on my telly last night. Anyone see Doctor Who and the Daleks? You will be exterminated. Get them, get the Daleks. Yes, yes. And there were renegade Daleks and proper Daleks, and they had a fight. And it was all very exciting. And then, at the end, I don't know what his name is, the tall bloke. Blooming God, I nearly swore then. I just stopped an F word coming out of my mouth. That happens sometimes. It usually doesn't get any further than my lips. It got as far as my teeth, and then it was rejected and ejected back into the back of my throat. The tall bloke, he left. Not only that, Bradley Walsh left. Very sad. I was so sad at the end to see the back of those two, because I think Bradley Walsh brought an enormous amount of humour to that. I loved him in that. But there you go. Time moves on and them two have gone. Would they be replaced by anyone else? I don't know. But an excellent episode of Doctor Who, I thought, last night. And we very much look forward to the new series. We don't have a date for that yet, do we? They didn't come up with... Well, they might have done, actually, because I was watching... You had to watch the UHD via the iPlayer. You know, for the good, very high quality pictures. So that's something to watch there. Yeah, but that bloke who stands next to the Pope, Shania, I feel he could play Doctor Who. And I'm just going to ask you, when, not if, I'm sure it's not going to be an if, Shania, when you become Pope, right, Pope Shania, okay, can I replace, and he won't be happy about this, mind you, as I say, he could get a job as a Doctor Who. Can I be that bloke who stands next to you, right, and helps you and tells all the other people what to do? I'd like that immensely. Please, if you don't mind. Yeah, obviously I would have to move from here into the Vatican. Do they have nice rooms there? I don't ask for much in there. I don't want a palace or anything like that. Don't need to have gold everywhere. I will need a fast internet connection though, if I can please request that from Your Holiness Shania. And that would be excellent. Well, could I also ask, I hope you don't mind, could I occasionally play that big organ for you? The one in the Vatican. At St. Peter's. Look at the heathens now, Shania. Look at them. Oh, what's St. Peter's? We don't know what that is. Is that near the Vatican? Look at them. Oh, heathens, dear. God, we are surrounded by disbelievers here, darling. Never mind. More room for us in heaven. Yes. And I do hope that some of you do turn up at the inauguration of the great Pope Shania, which I'm sure will happen in just a few years' time. We've just got to wait for this other one to peg it. Good morning to Paul in Amsterdam. Morning, Paul, who's in Liverpool. Paul from Amsterdam, who's in Liverpool. Morning, Paul. And that accent. Oh, the accent. Good morning to Diane Jebb. Hello, Diane. Gary Ross is in the house. Good morning, Gary. Jeff Burley. Morning to you, Jeff. Hope you're well. Best regard from the lovely Jeff and Linda. Good morning, you two. Hello to Jason Hughes. Paul in Cornwall says, have a good 2021 and hope you get all you need from me and my wife, Jo. Thank you, Paul. Morning, Paul. Andy comes to play. La, 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 la. Morning. Good to see you on crisp, frosty morning. Yes, what's it like out there? Do you know, funnily enough, yesterday I went out for a walk, as always, you know, after my radio show yesterday morning, which incidentally moves to 9 o'clock next week. Remember that, my radio show moves from 10 to 9. We'll be doing 9 till 10 every morning. We had a fault yesterday. It was exactly 10:43 and suddenly my little red light went out, which indicates I'm on air. I thought, oh, how very we haven't done that for a while, have we? Just a moment. Hang on. Just a moment now. Got all my little jingles up here now. I have now inserted all my jingles into my jingle playing machine. Where is it now? Where are we? United Kingdom Talk. There it is. No, it is. Yes, I got cut off yesterday, suddenly at 10:43 a.m. Isn't that strange and mysterious? It was almost as if one of the other Reach presenters had hacked into my systems, jealous of my huge success and millions and trillions and zillions and pillions of listeners all over the world when they just only have 2. And they cut me. I was cut off yesterday at 10:43 a.m. Anyway, there is a way of getting back in if that happens, but it wasn't having it. It wouldn't let me back in. And then what should happen if a presenter gets cut off, like at this end? Okay, so how it works, I do my show, and I send it here, and that sends it to you, right? If I get cut off, this thing detects a certain amount of silence, I don't know, 15 seconds, and then if it doesn't hear anything from me, it should start playing music. But that didn't happen either. So something went wrong at their end. It was nothing to do with me, and you could tell that because at 11 o'clock, even the news didn't play. The news doesn't come from me. You know, so when you hear me say goodbye and the last record plays, once it goes, you hear like that Reach jingle and the news, it's left me, right? I can't get back on after that. It's all timed, you know? So an 11 o'clock finish, I get cut off at 11. You know, if for some reason I'm still talking, doesn't matter. I'm cut off at 11. It's all timed exactly. And then the news plays, and then the next person. And while the news, actually, the next person is already connected, okay? And it then switches to them. But it didn't play the news, and it didn't switch to the next person. So I quickly messaged the person after me. And one of the people at the server end did something, probably restarted something, you know how it is, and it all burst into life again. So that's what happened yesterday morning, all right? We got cut off yesterday morning, which was the same, really. It was a nice little show yesterday. But from Monday, of course, I'll be doing 9 till 10 a.m. Every morning on Reach. All right? Let's just scroll back... how far did we get there? There's Fran. Good morning, Fran. Did you enjoy Doctor Who last night? Very much, Fran. Very much indeed. Probably one of the best episodes I've seen for some time. Yeah. And there was none of that political correctness bullshit, rubbish that they keep doing. I'm sick of it. I'm sick. Doctor Who is an entertainment programme. Entertain me. I'm not interested in anyone's rights, left, right or centre. Whatever you are, gay, straight, black or white, I'm not interested. I want to be entertained and watch a programme with monsters and good people trying to get the monsters who we know will always win. But that's not the point. Stories we want on there, not political agenda, if you don't mind. You know, and last night there was none of it on there, and it was good. It was good last night, so I'm very, very pleased about that. Fran says, have you heard John Bishop is coming to Doctor Who next? Who is John Bishop? I don't know who that is. Rings a bell, that name. Let's just have a look. Let me have a look for you, my darlings. Oh, he's going to become a Doctor Who companion in the next series. What's he look like then? John Bishop. Is he old or young? He's not young, is he? What is he? My age? Was he in his 50s? Early 50s, late 40s, I would imagine. Oh, he's going to be a companion. But he's quite a famous actor, isn't he? I would have thought like a Doctor Who assistant would be someone. I don't want to berate anyone's acting career, but you know, once you've gone so far in acting, you know, you wouldn't be playing like a companion. You'd have like the main job, sort of like the Doctor. Do you know what I mean? Oh, well, that's interesting, isn't it? John Bishop. Yeah, well, good luck to him. That'd be good, I'm sure. Thank you, Fran. Morning to Maureen this morning. Good morning, Maureen. Has anyone got any buffering going on this morning as a matter of interest? I did get a little message up earlier saying that the video was a little bit of a problem, but it looks okay to me from this end. Okay, Shania says, on the subject of her shortly to become Pope, when the other one pegs it, Pope Francis, she says, of course, you can have your own improved studio complex with multiple members of staff to assist you. Oh, how marvellous. All helped with kind donations from the general public Catholics, which is rather marvellous. I think really what we'll have to do is get people to do those, what are those tax things? You know that little thing you sign? When you donate to a charitable institution, which, for example, is a church, could be a church, you sign some tax thing, don't you? What is it again? So for every £1 that you donate, they get another 25 pence. Is that right? Some sort of thing. Probably a big scam if I know the priests and all that. But there we are. All right. Text number this morning, as always, 07551 259 675. 07551 259 675. Well, have you seen those idiots? Those idiots. I mean, I couldn't believe it when I saw this story in The Sun, I think it was. Maskless idiots. Absolutely destroyed some poor doctor coming out of a hospital on a New Year's Eve late shift. I think I bought a picture of them. Did I put a picture of them on here? Oh, no, I didn't. I'm sure I bought that up there. Give me a second. Let me see if I put this on here. And I'm sure I put that on there. Let's just... Maybe I didn't. Browse. Where's my browse? No, I didn't. What a shame. Oh, that's disappointing. But anyway, all these people without masks on, the deniers, decide to go marching down to a hospital. Right? St. Thomas's. Very busy hospital in London. And they all go down there, great big group of people. I mean, they're just idiots, aren't they? Chanting, COVID is a hoax. And they mobbed an A&E doctor while he came out of a very, very long shift. These people need to be water cannoned. I'm sorry. They are absolutely off their heads. There's something, they are retarded people. Retarded people marching down and screaming and shouting at an A&E doctor that COVID is a hoax. You know, this doctor who's probably just come up there might have seen a few people die in his shift. I'm sure that's not a pleasant experience for anyone. Don't matter how many times you see it, especially if you're trying to save their lives. You know? People sitting there or lying there on ventilators with the masks and all that going on. good chance, a little bit of a chance that the doctor himself might contract something like this. But this bloke, Matthew Lee, shared a video of the shocking scene as he left St Thomas's Hospital in London. I mean, it just boils my blood seeing stuff like this. You know, even if you don't believe it, and I know possibly one or two of you don't think it's all a hoax and all that. I know that. Well, why do you... Fine, you believe what you want to believe, but why would you go marching up London and shouting and screaming at a doctor as he comes out, a young doctor, as he comes out, trying to save people's lives? They really should have the water cannons out on these idiots. This bloke tweeted, worked the late A&E shift on New Year's Eve at St Thomas's and came out to this. Hundreds of masked, drunk people in huge groups shouting COVID is a hoax, literally outside the building where hundreds are sick and dying. Why do people still not realise the seriousness of this pandemic? He said later that he felt disgusted but mostly heartbroken. I wish people could see the amount of COVID-19 and death in hospitals and the sacrifices that healthcare workers make. This week alone has been so tough, their ignorance is hurting others. I really wish people would keep themselves safe. And it's just beyond me. It's beyond me. These people are seriously retarded. And I bet none of them have got jobs. You know the sort. Go and visit a shower once a month. I bet it's those sort of people, isn't it, eh? Off their blooming heads. There was a DJ, there's a DJ I knew. Young DJ. And he was a bit full of himself back last year. And as the lockdowns came along, he got a bit fed up, of course, because he's not working. None of us DJs, karaoke, entertainers, none of us have worked for months. And he was on there saying, F Boris, F the government, remember this, you know, when the next voting thing comes around, people, make sure you don't vote for them, this, that and the other, the Tories are, and he was he's always on the Instagram and the Facebook, he's very image conscious, putting up stories of himself all the time. Now, you could argue that I do the same thing, but I just use my Facebook and that to advertise the things that I do. I don't really, now and again I upload a couple of photos of the family and that, but I don't go on with political crap and this, that and the other. I just don't bother with it. There's constantly people moaning and arguing on there. And then of course there are the people on Facebook, as you well know, I'm sure, they only comment on something that you've put up if they disagree with it. Don't you love those people? They only ever comment on, and I've put a couple of posts up there recently, you know, along those lines, you know, thanks very much to everyone this year who's helped me and and no thanks to those that only comment when they don't disagree with something, bit like that. Anyway, but he's always on there, you know, he'll put up several photographs or little videos of himself during the day of what he's been doing and hello, this, that and the other. And it got a little bit political towards the end of last year, and he kept going on. He was probably fed up, you know, with all the lockdowns, and we locked down again, and that's when he really let rip. Started going on about how we shouldn't vote for them again. They've destroyed the industry, this, that and the other, right? Now, I happen to know he had been DJing. There was a couple of bars open in between the two lockdowns. They tried, and understandably, to make a little bit of money and all this business. So I'd noticed he'd been DJing, and he put posts on like, you know, F this lockdown, I'll go out and do what I want, and if I get a fine, so be it, I don't care, and all this. And then suddenly it disappeared for 2 weeks. And I noticed that. Strange, we haven't had any... I won't tell you who it is. We haven't had any posts for this person. And then he came back just after Christmas. Can't believe it. He called it Rona. Rona got me, as in Corona. Certainly changed his tune then. You know, and that's because, you know, he'd been going out and mixing with people, and we're not supposed to do that. You know, it's up to you if you want to do it. Take the risk. It's up to you. I don't care. If you die, you die. I won't be crying. It's up to you. I know if I was to get something like this, you know, I wouldn't know where it had come from because I've been so careful. So careful. Probably too careful, but I don't think you can be too careful. But certainly changed his tune. And you've only got to watch the news stories, haven't you? When you see him in the hospital and they've got the mask on, haven't they? I didn't believe it could happen to me. Please wear a mask. And then we don't see these people again. Some of them die. Because they were too big to get it. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm fit and healthy. I'm not going to get it. Those sort of people. And that's who gets it. Terrible, really. Texting there. Let's have a look there. I'm just scrolling up there. Thank you. John Bishop is a funny comedian. Oh, well, maybe he will bring a bit of comedy to the Doctor Who, as indeed Bradley Walsh is. See, I like humour in this sort of thing. I love the humour in the James Bond films, don't you? And we're looking forward to that at some point this year. It's all in the can. Has been now for nearly a year, isn't it? I do like humour in things like this. Good morning to Andy. Andy says one of the protesters was Jeremy Corbyn. No, I think it was his brother, wasn't it? Piers Corbyn. Have you got that right, Andy? Just type into the internet and you'll find that out. I think it was Piers Corbyn, actually. And Andy says it really makes my blood boil. Yeah, mine too, just to see this stuff on the internet and on the news stories. These people have got some serious mental health condition. And the trouble is there's so many of them, isn't there? I keep myself to myself when I go shopping. You know, if I see something going on, I walk away. It's like when I'm doing the litter collecting. When I'm doing my litter collecting, if I see someone drop something, I don't go and tell them, pick that up. You don't know who they are. Might have a knife in their pocket or a gun. It's the same when you cut someone up on the road. Or someone's flashing behind you, just let them go. You don't know if they've got a gun in the car. Just let them go. You know, and hopefully, down the road, they'll smash themselves and die. I'm sorry. Let them go. Don't get involved in it. Good morning to Christopher Williams. Happy New Year to you and your loyal viewers. Morning, Christopher. And George Bond says, hi, Chris. Are you putting a new intro in for this year? No, it'll be the old one from last year. We go back to the old one as from Wednesday, okay? You know, the normal intro, the non-Christmas intro. And actually, the outro this year, we will go back to that at the end of the show. But there's a new logo right at the end. You know the little bit that comes up where we have some sort of thing involving my Union flag there. And it comes up United Kingdom, and then it says the year underneath it. So that's new from today. You'll see that right at the very end of the show, all right? If you'd like to call in today, phone lines open, 0208 144 3477, all right? If you want to, don't have to. But if you want a little chat about anything we're talking about today, give us a call, 0208 144 3477. So that's that thing. I saw last night the Christmas special of All Creatures Great and Small. You want to sit there, you want to relax, you don't want to be offended by anything, there's no sexy stuff going on in there, there's no swearing. That is the programme for you. Watch it, you will feel good. Okay? Watch it. And it was the same when they put this series on, was it back in August, September? Something like that, wasn't it? That wonderful... Oh, hang on. I can't get that call. There we go. Let's take a call. Daniel Woodhouse. Good morning, Daniel.
Chris.
Hello. All right?
Well, yeah. I just want to... I'm going to try and keep this brief as I can. I've got to get in the shop next door.
Yes, as quick as possible. Have you finished now?
No, I haven't said it yet. Did you see Lingo yesterday?
Lingo? No.
Oh, you missed it. Don't worry, Chris, because it was absolute... I can't say the S word, can I?
No, you can say pants, though. You can change words like that for other words that would be acceptable to the billions. I mean, how many billion have we got today watching? Let me just check for you, darling. 21 billion people watching this show at the moment.
Oh, good. It was
all
just,
over the world.
Awful.
Some of them are in China and they won't have a word they won't have a clue what you're saying, but try it anyway.
Yeah, it was just awful, Chris.
What is Lingo? Could you just tell the millions of people all over the world what it is?
It's meant to be, the idea being that you're supposed to guess a 5-letter word.
Yes.
That you'll get the first letter of it.
Yeah.
And then you say what you think it is. If you've got the letters in the right position, they go one colour. If they're in the word in a different position, it's a different colour. And if they're not in the word at all, it just doesn't go to any colour. Okay. And then you get 5 guesses. It drops down 5 levels. So you get 5 guesses at the word. And then it was meant to be, if you got the word right, then you put your hand in the hopper in the desk in front of you and just mix the balls round, pick 2 balls out, and then they'd be crossed off this American type bingo ticket that you had. And then if you got a line across, down, or diagonally, then you won.
Is that something that you quite like the sound of? Someone putting their hand in your hopper?
Yeah, well, yes, I did. Certainly back in 1988 when this was actually on properly.
Right.
Yeah. But that was how it was meant to be, right?
Yeah.
Back in 88. The new version, you know what they've done with the new version?
Oh, that smoke alarm! Turn that smoke alarm off! How many times do I have to ask?
I try my best, I just can't get at it. It's still completely secreted.
Secreted?
Yeah.
Well, you're very strange. You're talking about hoppers here. Someone revolving your balls around, and now secretions.
Yeah.
It's not that sort of show, I'm afraid. I think you need to call Babe Station or someone like that later tonight.
I did try that, Chris.
Oh, right.
Yeah, she was getting a bit broody, this woman.
Was
she
she?
said, I want to with you.
I bet she
and I
put
thought,
down
well, you'll
was
just
she
have to
another
get in
one?
the queue, darling.
Yeah, you find less chance of them putting down the phone on you when you're paying £5 a minute.
Well, yeah, but anyway, Chris, back to the actual real thing.
Yes.
What happened?
Oh, sorry.
So that was the old lingo. How it was done. So you know what they've done on the new version?
What?
They've took out the bingo element of it, and it's just words.
Oh.
So all you get is people just trying to get as far and then it just goes on. It's just constant repetition. You know,
What
when the
side
bingo
is this
bit
on?
was there.
What channel was this on?
Sorry?
What channel was this on?
ITV. It was about 4. Well, I think it's going to 3 o'clock from next week.
3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to watch one of those and comment on that.
Yeah, but actually, I think you should see the 80s version first.
80s version.
And then see the new version.
Is that on YouTube?
Yes, I'll give you a link to it. There's only one episode there, the last
Oh, is there?
one.
Okay.
Yeah, but the thing we know, at least when the bingo bit was in it, it broke the game up, you know, into segments. And then, because they also put 3 red balls in there. And I know they didn't do it on the English version, but on the American version that was shown on UK Living in the 90s, it was constant. They end up with a catchphrase of like put their hand and go, and they have a host there and be shouting, "Come on, no red bars, no red bars," and then they get a red ball and go, damn.
Well, it sounds very, very exciting.
Well,
I'm going to watch that. I'm going to watch that and comment for you, Danny.
Yeah, it's exciting when you got the bingo balls there.
Do you like the wheel? Is that on tonight?
It's. I don't know, Chris. I just cannot get in to any modern quiz. I don't know why.
You don't like the wheel? It's got a little catchy tune and a very bright, sparkly stage and that marvellous thing that spins round. That's a multi-million-pound set, that is. Millions that cost them to build that.
Do you know what? I think there's there's another thing they do wrong with all modern quizzes.
Yes.
You remember the old days when like quizzing and any other programme was a standard half hour?
Yes.
And now, I think Countdown started it, extended it to 45 minutes.
Yeah,
and that's
I know.
where you go wrong.
Yeah, I prefer. I know, and one of the reasons for this is that they muck around with the answers. And I've said this before. For example, right? Let's go back to the 70s, even the 80s, right? And
the 80s
I'm going to ask myself a question and answer it, right? So, what is 2 plus 2? It's 4. Beep, it's 4. That's the correct answer, right? If that same question was done now, it would be, what's 2 plus 2? Now 2 plus 2, I don't think it's 3. It might be 6. Or is it... Oh, I don't know. It could be 4. I think it's 5. Are you sure it's 5? Well, yeah, I'm going to go with 5. You want to lock in the answer 5. Yeah. Yep, I want to lock that answer in. Okay, let's lock in the answer. Boom. All right, are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready now. Okay, let's see what the answer... What's the answer to 2 plus 2? Oh, no, it's 4. And that is why they're 45 minutes long. And I don't get it either. I wish they just give the damn answers and stop going around it all. It's all to take up more time. They don't know what else to put on the telly.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm seriously thinking, Chris. I mean, I doubt if it'll let them, because I know people will be expecting a bit too much. But just turning my flat into my own TV studio and getting some people round to actually play some quizzes and videoing them for YouTube. But I think people will be expecting to win a brand new car every day.
Yeah, there's no cut. Well, with the whole prize thing, I don't know how we've got into this thing where you've got to give away thousands and thousands of pounds. Now, look how good. Did you watch Blankety Blank? Did you like that?
I did see the Christmas special.
Right,
I know
did
they
you see the
tried
crap prizes, a wooden shed, and I'm like, but that became part of it. The fact that the prizes were crap were neither here nor there. It was very entertaining. And I don't know why people are so goddamn greedy and they need to win thousands and thousands of pounds all the time. It's madness.
I mean, I can remember, actually, that some bloke who I was at school with, who sadly no longer with us, he videoed an episode of Blankety Blank from 1983 when it was being shown on UK Gold in the 90s. And the 50 blanks prize was it was a home fish and chip maker. and you know what it was? It was like a mini version of one of those, those, like, I don't know what you call them, and they're like trays or like circular thing with that lid on it, that circular like thing they have in a fish shop, where you just throw the lid open and then you scoop some chips up. It was like that.
Well, it's like the same. It's like the prizes on the Generation game. They were usually crap. A toaster, a chocolate fondue set. Now, I'd like to find someone that has either won or bought a chocolate fondue set and used it more than twice. I bet there's not many of those around. It's like all those gadgets and that they used to give away, and the cuddly toy. There can't have been more than 100 quid's worth of prizes on that belt. But the programme...
I mean, when you say about time taken to answer a question...
The programme was entertaining, wasn't it? It entertained us.
Well, yes. But when you talked about time taken to answer a question, the best representation of that was 15-1 with William Stewart. That was how a quiz should be. Question, 3 seconds, answer. Don't know, right, that's it, we're going on to the next one.
Yeah. Question, answer. Question, answer. Not these elongated times where they spend 10 minutes going for every possible answer, then choosing one which invariably is wrong anyway.
Yeah, but then again, I mean, that's like these pub quizzes as well. I mean, I know you did it, but you see, this is where, because when you did it, I watched it because it was you, because I thought, I know it's going to be funny. But if it's anyone else doing one of these pub quizzes where it's like, read question, write answer down, and then, has everyone done it? All right. That feel more like a school exam.
Yeah.
That's why I've never liked it. I'm sitting there, I see these people doing these pub quizzes. I'm thinking, why can't you just, scrape some money together, because you can buy them. They do exist. I know that these lockout buzzers where, press it and no one else can, if you press it first, no one else can get in. You press it, the answer, that's it. You win, on to the next one, and so on. But the way they're doing is pub quiz, I think, God, this is so amateurish.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, I tell you what.
When you was doing it, Chris, it was all right, because I knew it was a laugh.
Actually, being in a pub doing pub quizzes, I tell you what, I've come across there before. They make it complicated, right? There was one particular place. I didn't see it with my own eyes, but my mate used to work there, and they'd started this pub quiz. Now, keep it simple. Ask a question, give an answer, and that's it, right? 10 questions, 5 rounds, just go through them, that's it. But this particular place made it really complicated. And you do the first round, and if you won the first round, on the second round, you'd get an extra point. And if you did this, you'd lose a point. And I'm thinking, how is that even... I don't understand what's going on here. Just read a question and give a point. Yeah. How easy is that? But they make it complicated. What people do is try and be clever with stuff, and they shouldn't. You've got to keep stuff simple, otherwise people just don't get it.
Yeah, I think actually no. You mentioned. I think I would really like to do, because I think these days it's too. it's too difficult to find a new quiz format. They've all been done. I mean, they tried bringing back Lingo as if it's a new program. No, people like me, we're old enough to remember when it went out before, even if it was just 10 episodes. And what I'd like to do is something just called the quiz of quizzes. Just take every quiz format that's been done before, combine them all into one show. You do a bit of this, bit of that, bit of this, bit of that. And
if you came up with a good idea, you could make a lot of money. If you could sell that idea to someone like Endemol, I think it is Endemol,
they did Deal or No Deal,
or Tiger Aspects. There is, or of course BBC Studios. If you could sell them the idea.
Yeah, but what could there possibly be now? Any idea that's thought of nowadays, you just look at and you just go, oh, God, grief.
They're not all good, are they? Why are you going out to the shop?
Just as well. Can I just ask? It's a bit like, you're a DJ. Well, this. There's people like, I can't remember the last time I heard a modern pop record and thought, oh, yeah, that's really, really great. I think the last one we all liked was Pharrell Williams doing "Cause I'm Happy," if you feel and all that.
It's not too bad.
That's something.
It's not too bad now. We went for a period, certainly for me. Other people would say other periods, but certainly the 2000, sort of round about 2006, I think 2007. For me, there was an awful period of music, and the happiness just disappeared, and. Again, later on, just a couple of years ago, we had great singers like Adele, fantastic singers, Adele, people like that. But my God, the music was so blooming depressing. It was just sad song after sad song.
They may have the talent.
For Christ's sake, give us some happy music.
There are people like my mum. She despises certain. She can't stand Ed Sheeran really, because she thinks he's the depressed git, and so do I. I remember the first time I heard it. Remember the first Ed Sheeran song that ever come out? It went something like da, 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 and they will your mouth still remember the taste of my love? And I thought, you dirty git. I can't say the B word, can I? But so excuse, has he been like watching some late night? He'd probably been watching Babe Station.
But he started. He got friendly. One of his best friends is Justin Bieber, isn't it? And he got friendly with him, and his music improved, like with "Shape of You" and stuff like that, which was quite good, wasn't it?
Well, let's still not get up dancing party thing, We were like da 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 da.
I think you've just got a little bit too old, Danny. I can still appreciate.
I think music. I've worked out what it is, Chris. When you get something like, those young people, they just seem to despise anything. You mentioned something, say 70s, 80s, and that, and they go, 70s, 80s. Oh God, that must be well old.
Yeah, but wasn't that you?
We had some of the best stuff then.
Wasn't that you when you were younger, despising the 50s and 60s? But I bet you like it now.
There's been a few. I've heard a few like rock and roll bits off the 50s and 60s. Oh, there is actually a song from the 50s, right? Some called Billy Greaves. Now, Brace, you said what this song's called.
That rings a bell,
It's not dirty. It's not dirty, but it's called The Shag. It really is. There was actually a dance called The Shag.
There's two of those. There's another one called a song by the Tams, Tams, which is called... Oh, hang on a minute. Let me look it up. I've got my music thing here. I'll tell you what it's called. It's the Tams. There ain't nothing like shagging. Now that shagging was a dance. It was an American dance. So I hear what you're saying there. If you remind me on Monday, want to do my radio show, don't forget that moves from 10 to 9 o'clock on Monday. If you remember that Monday, I'll play that for you. Ask for it and I'll put it on.
Yeah. But in essence, Chris, what I was saying, it seems like if you get something that's really good, it's so hard then to improve on it. You can't
absolutely. Look at the amount of times I bought the Generation game back and blankety blank keeps coming back. Why? Because it's good.
The second time with Brucey in the 90s, that was all right.
Yeah.
But then when Jim Davidson took it over, I saw it for the first time. I thought,
not so good.
Where is this show go? I don't understand where I am.
Well, it
with
wasn't
this.
the worst one. Melon Sue.
No.
Oh God, it was awful. They did two.
I didn't even have to see it to know it was going to be awful. I could imagine it.
What a total and utter disaster that was. It was just cringe-worthy. Yeah. Awful. But they could bring it back. Someone like Bradley Walsh or Michael McIntyre. I think he could do it as well.
He'd be good at the gin game, yes.
Yeah. I thought Bradley was very good at blankety blank.
Yeah. Yeah, so we wonder if that'll go to series, because it didn't. They tried it a couple of years ago on Christmas Day with Williams, didn't they?
Remember? Who was it?
David Williams.
Oh no, it's not for him. He's too smarmy. He's too smarmy.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a fan. I'm really not a fan too much of David Williams. He's very successful, just not for me. Doesn't mean he's rubbish, because he's not. He's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Anyway, go to the shop and get your stuff,
yeah,
all right?
I've got to get the old Lucasade in.
May I just say another excellent call from you and a vast improvement on the one that you made the other night. Cheerio, Danny.
That was a bit too intellectual, I know.
Danny in Romford on the phone there. Thank you, Danny. Have a lovely day.
Right.
He's gone to the shops. Why's he going to the shops while I'm trying to do my show? Rude. Anyway, where were we? All creatures great and small, yeah. So, watch that. That's on the My 5 Player Christmas special. And if you didn't see them back in August, they're all on there, okay? I think episodes 1 to 6 and Christmas special episode 7. And they've changed the music a little bit as well. Oh, it's lovely. And the little dog was born. Oh, that's all I'm saying. Can't say any more. Can't say any more than that. All right. Oh, good news. My foot cream arrived. Look, here's my foot cream. My foot cream's arrived. Look at the colour, right? Hang on, because there's no lid on it. There we are. Look. I used it last night. Oh, it's lavender. It smells like my nan. Oh, lovely smell. This is for after a foot spa. So last night, I went. I got up to watch Doctor Who, and I thought I'll have a foot spa while I'm watching Doctor Who. So I put a towel on the floor, didn't I, in the living room, because you don't want a wet carpet. Put a towel on the floor, put my foot spa on there, filled it up with water. And on went the heat with the salts in it and the tea tree oil, did all that. Then I went out for my walk, come back here, had a shower, went out for a 2-hour walk last night, had a shower, and then after that I put this on my feet. Oh, a lovely smell. Got another call, George Bonds. Good morning, George.
Good morning, Chris.
All right?
Yes. I was just listening to Danny's thing while I was waiting for him to come up about blankety blank.
Yes.
I was thinking Simon Cowell.
What, Simon Cowell could do blankety blank? Oh, I don't think so, mate. He's not a TV host. He's just a judge. He couldn't host a TV show. No, he's too bullshit. Wouldn't work.
Yeah.
He's not entertaining. He's not entertaining. He's just someone with opinions. That's it. He's very successful. Millions and millions of pounds in the bank. If you class success as money, then yes, he's highly successful. He does programmes that lots of people like on the telly. Is not my cup of tea. Again, like I say before, if I say I don't like something, doesn't mean they're not good. It's just not for me. And I don't like his stuff. And I don't think he would be able to host a game show at all. He's not funny.
I weighed myself this morning.
Right. Oh, change subjects, have we? Yes.
Yeah. And, you don't want to know how much I weigh at the moment.
Well, why did you mention it then?
Yeah, you can't see it though. You don't look at the.
Well, why would you
YouTube.
say I weighed myself this morning and then I'm not going to tell you what it was? What's the point of that? Just tell us.
3.6.
What do you mean 3.6? I think you're a bit heavier than that, darling.
That's what it said on the weighing
3.6. What is that? Tons? Is it weighing tons?
Well, it says kg.
What? What, 3.6 kilograms? Something wrong with your scales there. Are you joining us for our weight losing thing?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Just to let you know, boys and girls, if you didn't know this already, we're going to do a weight losing thing here on United Kingdom Talk starting next Wednesday. You can join in either on the video show or the radio show, either. Okay. I'm not going to tell you how to lose weight. There's no diet or anything or exercise regime from me. But basically, you lose weight in the way that you've decided to do it. And all it is a group of people with a list of numbers and what we weigh next Wednesday and then what we weigh the Wednesday after. I just think it might help us all a little bit if we can see where almost... It's not a competition or anything like that, but just to see, to be able to tell other people that perhaps this week you've lost half a stone, half a pound, or half a kilo, whatever it is. I think that would help. Okay, so we're going to start that next Wednesday. I weighed myself. I was 13 stone 6.2 the other day, but we haven't actually started yet. So I'll ask for your weights on Wednesday if you want to join in. Okay, and it's entirely up to you how you do it. What are you weighing now?
Me,
20?
Something like that, yeah.
About
Do you
20
want me
stone?
to take a picture and send it to you?
No, thank you, darling.
Yeah. Because I thought you could put it on the
Why
show.
would I want to see a picture of you? What, naked? No, I'm not into that sort of thing, dear.
No, just the weighing scale number.
No, you don't need to do that. No, just send me
Okay.
when we start next Wednesday. Just send us your weight, and I'll add you to the list. All right? It's not on computer. It's just literally a piece of paper with a list of numbers on it, and that's it. I just think it might help some of us. I think it might help me as well. To lose a bit. I'd like to lose about a stone.
I do. I'm actually losing weight with this.
Well, and if you just can't do it, George, you can always cut off one of your legs. Instant weight loss, dear. Instant weight loss. Have a lovely day, George. Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now. There we are, George Bond calling in there. You can call in if you want to. 02081 44 3477. 02081 44 3477. I've also watched another episode of Bridgerton, which is on Netflix. That's the thing that they're saying is Netflix's answer to Downton Abbey, but it's not. It's similar, but not the same. I think you'll like it, though. It was a sad episode, number 5. Tears were coming out of my glass eyes. They really were. So that's Bridgerton on Netflix. Watch that. Now, isn't this strange? Look, I can't believe it, right? So yesterday I had my lunch. Do you remember I showed you the beautiful present as sent to me via moonpig.com in a beautiful pink box of a tin of Quality Street. Do you remember those? Well, they've gone. Every single one. Now, I don't know about you, but when I was a child, not even child, teen, early 20s, early 30s, I don't like that one. Oh, I love that one. No, I don't like that one. Don't like that one. Right. Now I'm 57. There's not a single chocolate here that I don't like. There are some that I like better than others. But generally, they're all okay. My most favourite ones will be the fudge, strawberry creams, and orange creams. The others are all right. My least favourite one, which is still okay, is the blue coconut one. I don't think they got the consistency right on that one for me. Maybe you like it. They've all gone. 1 kilo of sweets in like 6 days. That's shocking, isn't it? I just wanted to tell you that. Perhaps someone had been eating them as well at the same time that I hadn't noticed. I don't know. Mike sends a message in. Good morning to Mike Rees-Ponto, who says, talking about parents, my parents are both in their late 80s. I should be going to Aldi later to get their weekly shopping and take it round to them. Been doing this then for them for the last 10 months as they haven't been able to go out due to the virus. Do they moan being on a permanent lockdown? No, they don't. They make the best of it as they can. Bless them. And that's from Mike Rees-Ponto. Thank you very much, Mike. Much appreciated with that. Yeah, you're a good boy. Good boy. Gary says, mate, you're like John Bishop. He has a strong Scouse accent. And he is a stand-up comedian. And he's from Liverpool. So there we are. I mean, you learn new things on this show. Stuff that I didn't know there. who John Bishop was. You've certainly told me. Anyone else want to call in on the show today? Feel free. 020-8144-3477. If you're new to the show, welcome along. There is a chat box. I don't come into the chat box. That's for you to talk to each other. To contact me, you can use the text number, top left-hand corner. 07551 259 675, 07551 259 675, or you can send an email, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, or you can call in. If you call in, you will need to send your phone number. If you come through as an unknown phone number, it won't get answered, okay? And the phone number, which you'll see back up there in a moment, is 020 8144 3477, 020 8144 3477. Happy New Year to John Parrish. Hello, John. John Parrish speaking, no doubt, from a rather cool caravan. Is it cold, John? I bet him and his Mrs. Sherry's up there at the moment. Morning to Sherry DMP, she's there as well. John Parrish says he's 4 kilograms. 4 kilograms. Oh, do we have to do No, we don't have to do kilograms anymore. We are a sovereign country now. We can go back to pounds and ounces. Excellent news. Thank you, Boris. You said you done it. You done it, mate. Nice one, Boris. Did you feel good at 11 o'clock on New Year's Eve? Did it feel any different? Oh, I don't know. Right. So 2 disasters. Was it yesterday or the day before? Yesterday. 2 disasters yesterday. Disaster number 1, I got cut off on the radio, didn't I? But that wasn't me. That was some sort of technical difficulty at the end, at the reach on air end. And number 2, on New Year's Day, I went out for a walk. And I didn't take a litter bag. I thought I'd just go for a walk today. Of course, that was a mistake because I found litter. Right? But I registered it in my head where this litter was. It was cans and plastic bottles. Not loads. It was about 6 of them altogether. But there were like 3 there and another 3 somewhere else, not too far away. So I registered that in my mind. And yesterday, out I went with my little plastic bag and my litter picker. And off I went to locate the said items that I had spotted on a reconnaissance mission, where I go and see what work needs to be done. I went the wrong way and I couldn't find them again. I think I've got the route in my head now. They're actually quite far. They're not close, these particular items of rubbish. So I shall go and get those. So a bit of a disaster. I come back here. I did find other items of litter. Not too bad at all, actually, yesterday. Not bad at all. I did find some other litter, but I didn't find the litter that I wanted. Very, very disappointing. So I need to go back today after the show and see if I can locate it there. Fran Green says maybe George wanted to help him help convert the weight. Yes, I mean, I'd be happy to do that. I could do that. Convert the weight like that. Oh, we got a £5 tip from Mr. Gary Ross. Thank you, Gary. A £5 tip has arrived into the studios of United Kingdom Talk. Thank you, Gary. And this is for our very last clock. Okay, so he sent me a £5 tip. Every time someone sends me a £1 tip, I give them a free raffle ticket for the Super Chat raffle, which this week, and the draw will be next Saturday, okay, is this. It is our very last clock. Why is this the last one of these? Because it says there, UK lockdown 2020, okay? Now, we might do some new clocks this year sometime, but this is definitely the last one of that, okay? Where it says UK lockdown. So I'm going to give young Gary 5 free raffle tickets for that. As you sent a £5, there you go, Gary. You don't need to know the numbers, Gary. Because we reveal the names as well on the free raffles. There's no fridge magnet raffle at the moment. There are no fridge magnets. All right, my darlings? So there we are. Let's just write this down. Gary Ross is in the house. Thank you, Gary. You're very kind to this ageing DJ and radio presenter. There you go, Gary. All right, all the way from Belfast. Is it Irish money I'm being sent? Or your euros? They're euros in Ireland. No, of course, you're Northern Ireland, aren't you? Northern Ireland. There you go. 716 to 720 if you're interested. And in they go there. Thank you, Gary. Anyone else sending a tip today? Every time you send a pound tip, I'll give you a free raffle ticket. I've already got the next prize, which will be revealed to you next Saturday after we've done that. Nice prize. Nice prize. Nice prize. All right, that's next week as well. So yes, I shall go out and try and find my litter a little bit later on. John Parrish said central heating's on, electric fire and blanket on, and still vapour coming out of our mouths. Sherry can't wait to go back to work as it's warmer. Yes, I mean, I said if it's really cold, caravans are not meant for winter use. I don't think really. You're living in that, aren't you? How are you getting away with that? How are you getting away with that? I'd be very surprised if he's got a residential licence there. He's probably doing it dodgy. I don't know. Or maybe he has. I don't know. Yes, Sherry can't wait to go back to work as it's warmer there. We moved to a village cottage on the 11th for 2 months. Yes, so it does close. Okay, I'm with you. Oh, thank you, Gary. I just saw your text there. I've done your super chat now. Thank you very much. Yeah, it is even with the heating I've put in. Now, admittedly, my bedroom is never cold in the caravan. No, I leave the heating on low, and it's fun. Even in the coldest of nights, my bedroom keeps warm. It's the living room. The living room is 4 times the size of the bedroom, you see. And even if I've got that thing on maximum, my heating on maximum, it's a job trying to keep it warm in there. So I know exactly what you mean, and I feel for you actually, John, especially in this sort of weather. I really do feel from you. And I know, what are you paying at the moment in electricity? There was something on one of those Facebook groups last night. I noticed someone was saying I'm paying 14 pence a unit in electricity. Is that good? And various people, I think you're paying a lot more than that, aren't you? More than 14 pence worth. What else? I also watched last night the London drone fireworks on the advice of the lovely Rachel Wheatland. Thank you, Rachel. I watched the London fireworks and the little shapes. They did a bird and NHS and things like that. But once again, it was politicised. You know, they politicised it, I feel, which spoilt it a bit for a lot of people. Nevertheless, it was very clever. They had a load of drones flying up in the air, creating little shapes and colours. Very, very clever. Very clever. The London fireworks get better and better, don't they? And in particular, the best part of it was right at the end where all these fireworks flew off the top of Tower Bridge, right along you can actually walk, well, you used to be able to walk up there. You would climb up, you know where the bridge is, like that. Well, it goes up, there's 2 towers and there's a walkway up there. You used to be able to go up there. I don't know if you still can. I wonder how many people committed suicide off there. Actually, I could write a list of names of people that I'd like to see commit suicide on there, to be honest. But they set up fireworks up there and they all went off at the end. It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So that is available on the iPlayer. If you didn't see the London fireworks, worth having a watch. It's about 10 minutes long. And they put music and little speeches to it as well there. Okay, and they also had the Shard. The Shard had the countdown on it, you know, from about 1 minute, I think, and it went down. And the top of the Shard, which is a big building in London. I think it's London's tallest building. Am I right in saying that? And that was changing colours and doing all sorts of wonderful things. Very, very clever. £1.5 million. It's a lot of money for a few lights to be flashing on and off, isn't it? And fireworks. Or is it worth it, do you think? Is £1.5 million a lot of money in the grand scheme of like a London budget? Probably not, I suppose. It might be like you and me spending £10. I don't know how that works money-wise. You know, we're not money people, are we? And right at the end of this firework display, they had a voiceover from, of course, the great David Attenborough. You know, I think he's got a new series coming up soon. And it was a turtle, and it turned into a globe, and now we should be careful of the planet, and we do need to be careful of the planet. We really do. So that was great. Fireworks, BBC iPlayer. Have a little look at that, all right? Talking of being kind to the planet, it was something on the other day, I think, on the BBC News channel about cycling, and cycling is taken off in a very big way due to the pandemic. People don't want to be on a bus with thousands of other people sneezing and coughing in their face and all that. It's not a pleasant experience, is it? You know. I've said before, one person, it's like that job I turned down, which was in a basement, would have been between the two lockdowns. One person sneezes in a basement, everyone gets a little bit of sneeze on them, don't they? I'm sure they do. That sneeze comes out your mouth at like 80 mile an hour or something ridiculously fast like that, doesn't it? I don't want to be doing with it. So a lot of people have bought bikes. A lot of people have bought electric bikes, haven't they? They're quite good. I did see an old couple, actually, when I was over the forest. I think it was actually Christmas morning. I was over the forest Christmas morning, and two older people went up. I saw them go up a hill very fast. I thought, there's no way you two old people are cycling up that hill fast. Let's take a call, finishing 8-6. Good morning. Who's that, please?
Good morning. It's Steve. How are you, Chris?
Hello, Steve. Stephen Petty?
Steve Murray.
Oh, Steve Murray. Hello, Steve. How are you? How lovely to
I'm
hear your
good,
voice. How's life?
Pardon? It's good. I was, I've been watching recently. There's a few things I thought, yeah, I almost called in. What about the dog? A couple of nights ago, you were talking about sharing stuff with dogs.
I was talking about
eating stuff with dogs, and I wanted to say that I share ice cream cones with my dog.
Yeah,
we sit there and have a lick each.
Was it Amir Khan? Was it Amir? I think it was Amir Khan. Yeah, he was eating. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was the racing boy. What's his name? Lewis Hamilton. It was Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah,
he had a cake,
right.
and he was literally having a bite out of it, and then the dog was having a bite, and I thought, oh no! But you share ice cream cones with your dog?
Yeah, well, only in the summer. It's a little bit cold at the moment, but yeah, in the summer we do. They sit there, have a lick each of the cone, and
oh no, dear!
Oh, it's fine. But I've had her since she was a baby, so I know where she's been.
Oh, that don't matter. I wouldn't share an ice cream cone with my sister, let alone a dog.
Oh. That's my baby.
Oh no,
though, I don't think about it.
That's come out really bad, isn't it? The way I said that. Oh my God, no! Honestly, I did not. I do have a laugh with my sister. I wouldn't say something like that. So she won't be watching this anyway. But I'll change that. I'm going to change that. I wouldn't share an ice cream cone with my cat or my sister.
Oh,
that sounds better.
But it's your baby. Well, your sister maybe, but the cat. I mean, that's your baby.
My cat, well, yeah, I suppose so. When I had my cat, she used to sleep next to me. She was so close to me on the bed, Stephen, I could feel her breath on my bottom lip. That's how close she was. Do you sleep with your dog?
Oh yeah, always. She's like a little hot water bottle. So, in fact, I miss it when she gets out of the bed. I have to call her back in because it can be a bit chilly. I sent you some pictures quite recently of a little project that I'm building.
Oh yes, please, yes.
No, I did send them. Do you remember?
Did?
I don't know. It was a few weeks ago. Prison van that I converted into a camper.
Oh, of course you did. Yeah, we showed that, didn't we?
Oh, I didn't see you showing it. I think the email went into your junk, so I didn't actually see the show where you showed the pictures.
Yes, I'm sure we showed that picture. So I seem to remember. It was some months ago now, wasn't it? It's quite a while ago.
Yeah, it was a little while ago. I think with all your talk of caravans and your northern holiday retreat, I got excited, so I sent you some pictures of what I'd built, and I'm actually staying in it right now. I'm out of London, out of the lockdown, in a farm. On a farm, rather, in the middle of nowhere.
Where is that, Steve?
Staying on this bus, and I was just sparked my interest in talking about heating, because you can get these things really hot caravans if you get like a diesel heater.
A diesel heater? Are they not
noisy?
Have
you heard of them? Have you heard of diesel heaters? Or
I have. I would assume something like that would be quite noisy, no?
No. Well, you can buy various different types, but I mean, you could put one in your caravan. I've fitted a couple to standard caravans before, and they're not noisy. You kind of put them out of the way. There is noise from it, but it's it gets so hot. I mean, literally, this bus turns into a sauna when that thing's been running for a period of 20 minutes or so.
Is that right?
Yeah, they're absolutely amazing. They're only like £100 as well, Chris. And you put it somewhere out of the way, like under the seats or something, and you put the vents into, obviously wherever you want the heat to arrive, and they're so hot. They're so efficient and so much cheaper if you're staying somewhere where you're paying additional money for electricity. It massively reduces what you're spending in that respect.
Well, I'm sure John Parrish will be wanting to hear what you've got to say about this. He's got a caravan. He's on a site where it sounds to me like he's ripped off for the electricity.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you know about caravan sites, but actually they're not supposed to be allowed to make money on electricity. They have to sell it to you what they buy it for, right? Nevertheless, John has on a couple of occasions now mentioned to me that he seems to be paying well over the top for his electricity. But even if you're not paying well over the top for the electricity, it's like, for example, me. Now, I had, I've had the air source heat pumps put in mine, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if you heard me just a moment ago. The bedroom and the hallway and the bathroom, I leave those two doors open, okay? And I have my one on in the bedroom, and I'm never, ever cold. The problem is the living room. I've got exactly the same unit in the living room, and I have it on full blast. And even then, on a very cold day, it has trouble keeping it warm. And the other thing with an air source heat pump is if it's freezing cold outside, what happens is that now and again, the actual unit freezes. It then switches Yes, it then switches itself off. Well, it doesn't. It switches it to a different mode, and then defrosts itself, and then comes back on again. But the problem is, this can take 5 to 10 minutes. And if you're in a car and you're driving along and you get really hot, yeah? You get hot, you turn the heating off, don't you? How quickly does it cool down? Very.
Yeah.
And that's the
very
problem.
quickly.
So
that's the problem you've got. There is another, because I looked at various different options for heating when I was building this thing. And the other thing I really strongly considered was the you can get like a mini log burner. It actually sits on a table. You just need to, obviously have somewhere for the flue to come out. But those things are ridiculously hot, much more heat than I get from the diesel heater. And they're relatively cheap. They're like maybe 80 quid for a mini one.
Is that all?
And obviously a little bit of work. It's nice because you've got real fire then. You can burn logs and it's, almost free fuel depending on where you're situated and what your access to that kind of thing is.
Yeah, you'd have to have a chimney put in though, wouldn't you? You couldn't just take out a gas fire and replace it. You see,
all it is it's just a flue, Chris. It's literally just a pipe. You just need to drill a hole for the pipe.
Dear. You've mentioned DIY, dear.
Okay, for it. Maybe I should come up and visit, Chris, and bring my toolbox with me. Pretty handy with that kind of thing. Maybe I'll come and visit you when you return up to Lincoln in my bus.
Is it an actual bus? I can't remember now.
Well, it was a prison van, so I bought it as a prison van with all the cells and all that kind of business. And then basically I've had this thing a year now, and I've been back and forth where it's on a farm. So I've been back and forth to do work to it. But when this last business came along in London, I thought, sod it, I'm going out to the country in the middle of nowhere with nobody around me, and I'll continue working with it. So that's basically what I did. But so basically I just had to rip the cells out, rip all the rubbish out that had been left by the prison service, and then start building it up and fit in a kitchen, oven, bed, all that kind of business. So yeah, that's really it. That's the story of that.
Right, that's amazing what you've achieved.
It's an ongoing work in progress.
What county are you in? You don't have to say where.
Yeah, currently I'm in Warwickshire.
Warwickshire? So, you are far.
Yeah, so kind of North Midlands-ish area. Yeah, kind of North Midlands-ish area.
When you say you're on a farm, are you on a farm on your own, or are there other caravans or lorries or whatever?
Yeah, there are. Yeah, there are other people here. There maybe it's a big farm, but a very small. He's got a license for like 5 plots, and so basically there's 5 people here.
Right.
So and it's generally it's contractors. I think like people are working on HS2 at the moment. That seems to be staying around here. Other than that, you don't see anybody. I'm just here with my dog. And I'm kind of surrounded by fields, so we go for long walks in between whatever I'm doing on the bus. And it's lovely, really nice. Well, it's nice to get out of London. It's nice to get out of the city and some fresh air and away from all that COVID.
Yeah, do you like doing a lot of walking, do you?
Well, I do with the dog, because she loves walking. So, and it's given the circumstances, we can't really do much other than whatever we can make ourselves. Walking is just easy, obviously, easy, free, and there are lots of beautiful places around here. So little lakes and things, and it's lovely, very picturesque, very picturesque.
How many hours would you say you go out walking during the day? Do you do it in one go, or do you go out a few times a day?
Oh, we go out every day. I generally go a couple of. There's a huge field in front of us where I am, and so I generally have a little run around there a couple of times. But then on the other side of the farm, there is a huge country walk where you walk through woods and like cross country thing, if you like. We go for long walks on there. I like to tire her out. She's only 5, so you can imagine she's quite playful still, a lot of energy, and so I like to wear her out on that one. So she stops pestering me of an evening, and I can rest. Dogs are like. Kind of take over, I think, a little bit in terms of planning your day and stuff. So whenever I've got anything large to do, any really dirty, heavy duty work to do on this bus, I generally get. She goes and stays with my godson, and until I finish the really nasty mess, and then they bring her back, and so that's generally how I've been doing it.
What sort of dog is she?
Yorkshire Terrier.
Oh,
little
Yorkie.
Yeah, her name is Lola. Lola.
You
I think you've met her, Chris. I think I brought her to the pub once. I did bring her to the pub once. I brought her to Central Station, yeah, when she was a pup. She peed on the stage.
Yes.
One memory of it.
Yeah, I think I remember that. Yeah.
She's just a fine little ball of fluff. Then.
You knew Mary as well, didn't you? Irish Mary?
Yeah, I love Mary.
She used to have
when she
was having the chemo, she had a couple of different wigs that she used to wear. And she would come in, and she had a wig, and it looked like a Scottish Terrier. I said, Mary's in tonight. Ah, yes, it's my favourite look, Mary. The Scottish Terrier look this morning. Fantastic this evening. Yeah. Oh, it was great.
I really miss those days at Central Station. Maureen and Christopher, and I'm trying to remember who else I used to kind of spend my time with when I went there every week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I miss those days. I'm looking forward to this being over, and you've been back there at least once, so I can come down and have a blast.
Yeah. Well, we never know what's going to go on. They've decided some weeks ago they started doing up the basement bar.
Have they?
That's now going to be a cabaret bar, and it's been done up. It's been painted, cleaned up, drapes hanging on the wall, little small stage in the corner. The only thing is, from what I gather, they're going to change it so you as the entertainer can go in and do whatever you want to do, but they won't pay you. You've got to sell tickets for your event, and I don't think I want to do that. It's not something that I've ever done, and I don't really want to do it. And to be quite frank, I can't see people wanting to pay to come to a karaoke. It's just.
Oh, I don't know, Chris. I think I would.
That being said,
I think I originally met you Camden Eye. That was where I very first met you, when you were doing a little gig there. I know, because that pub I lived directly opposite.
That was a great place, wasn't it?
And that was not the cheapest place to go, but because it was karaoke, you didn't mind going in there and paying the money because it was just good fun on a Sunday night, wasn't it? I think under Camden.
Yeah, but there was no door charge. There's no door charge.
Pardon?
There was no door charge.
No door charge. No, but
that's
if you
what
compare
they're
their
saying.
prices to Central Station in terms of alcohol, then you pay.
Yes,
a bit of a premium anyway.
That's what they're saying. Like that. All the shows, everything, including karaoke, will be downstairs in this newly, and they've done it very well. And obviously they do the bar and make money from that, but they don't pay the entertainer. You have to sell tickets for your thing, or have someone collecting money on a door, and then that's yours. And that's very different to what I'm used to, just turning up, doing a job, and coming home with a wage. That's how I do. I don't really want to get involved.
Well, the thing is, you never guarantee that. I mean, I remember most nights. I remember going. I used to come sometimes Monday and Friday to your gig at Central Station, and Fridays were always obviously very busy, but Mondays was a bit hit and miss, wasn't it? Some days
it was hit and miss.
Loads of people in, it'd be rammed, and you couldn't get up. You could barely get one song in, and then other times you could put 10 in and happily get up with.
Did you see the thing? The other thing with if you was to do that, and you had a door charge and I can see what's going to happen. You pay whatever it would be, £5, £4, £3. You come in the door, sit down and have your drink. You put your record in, and half an hour goes past, then you're going to come up to me and saying, well, I've just paid £5 to come in. Why haven't I sung yet? And you're going to get into that. I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are.
I suspect you might be right. It's a shame, really, because that was, for me, I mean, I didn't always sing at your... I like to watch, because there were so many fantastic singers that used to come in. So I sometimes used to come in and just watch the whole night. So, of course, people doing that, perhaps they wouldn't feel that they're getting as much value for money as the people that are getting up and performing. So
you don't know what's going to happen. I'm not quite sure they're 100% on everything that they're doing at the moment. So you never know. We keep our
fingers crossed they don't. Yeah, fingers crossed they don't. I always enjoyed those nights there with you and the little crowd that gathers. It was always fun.
Me too.
Steve, one day, Chris, one day.
I'm so pleased that you're happy where you are and you've got your dog and you're able to just travel across the country. Can I just ask, as a matter of interest, what's your ground rent there? Do you pay weekly or monthly or what?
Yeah, this place is £100 a week. But with this particular, because I had it on another farm quite near to here before, and it didn't matter whether you were there or not, but they charged you. Whereas this place, if I go home, for a couple of weeks, I can put this in the storage section, and then it's £10 a week. So, but when I'm here, it's £100 a week. But your electricity is all in. So, although I've been singing the praises of my diesel heater, with the electricity all in, I've got all electric heaters going at the moment. I'd tell you, it's like a bloody sauna in here.
I was going to say that. I mean, electricity included in that. That's good.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the. Well, apart from the fact this was a lot. The place that the boss was at initially was right on a main road, and whenever I stayed there, you knew you're on a main. I mean, I live in the centre of London, so I'm used to noise, but this was like huge lorries going past with tractor trailer type thing bouncing up and down and making a racket at 3 o'clock in the morning. So part of it was I wanted to move away from that noise and get somewhere a little bit more picturesque and tranquil. And the other part was that the electricity was included in this place. So it just meant that with all the power tools I use, etc., for the work that I do on this thing, it just made more sense to bring it here and pay less money. Pay that money with electricity included. So it's worked out very well. But I think perhaps, depending on what happens with COVID and lockdowns, etc., I think I'm going to drive this down to London, because there's a place in Crystal Palace, there's a campsite in Crystal Palace.
Well, I never knew that.
Yeah.
What, for caravans?
Pardon?
For caravans?
Yeah, caravans and motorhomes.
Gosh.
And it's Crystal Palace. That's as much as I know. But I think it's about £11-12 a night. So that's how they do it. It's something like that anyway, but not very expensive. So hopefully I'm going to store this there when I go back home full time. And so I just have easy access to, because I want to keep it for. I want to do Glastonbury in this thing and a little bit of touring, if you like.
Is that for old people like you, Stephen?
I think you're fine. I'm not that old, Christopher. Thank you very much.
Oh, no. Oh, the toilets, Steve. I couldn't bear to use the toilets at somewhere like Glastonbury.
Oh, no, Glastonbury's amazing. Have you never done it, Chris?
No, I couldn't do it. I'd have to hold it.
You say that. You say that, though, and it's really something out of this world. It's a phenomenal festival. I've been going for many years now, and it's one of those things. It's not super cheap, but for what you get out of it, the amount of acts that you can actually go and see, and all of the activities that are going on within the Glastonbury village, if you like, then it's a fantastic long weekend. And I highly recommend it. I usually, you're obviously still relatively young, but I think when you walk around there, you see, people in their 60s and 70s walking around. It's a place for all ages, babies up to pensioners.
And do they take their own toilets?
Pardon?
Does anyone take their own toilets?
Oh yeah, people do that. There's a kind of a fair sized group of us that go. And we tend to. What we do now is because you can rent already erected teepees, or they have these little shacks up on the farm itself, on Glastonbury Farm, and you can on Worthy Farm rather. And you can. That's what we do. We stay up there because they've got shower blocks and toilets and little shops and cafes around there, and you have to have security, to get in. So it's more secure than anywhere else on the site. And so your tent's already made. You've got showers, hot showers there. It's almost iron from home. Those little bits of luxury, the shower block and the toilets, make an enormous difference.
I'm sure it does.
Your stay, because you've not, and the toilet, you don't have to use those horrible cesspit toilets that everybody else uses.
No, don't dear.
Oh,
Not
God,
before
the
lunch.
smell of those things. I tell you what's funny, Chris. Sometimes you have to. If you're one part of the site and you need to use the loo and you have to use some of those stalls. I tell you what's hilarious: looking down the hole into the cesspit underneath.
Stop
toilets,
it now!
All of the mobile phones ringing, all of the mobile phones flashing in the piles of shit and God knows what everywhere. Excuse my French. So yeah, it's that is quite a funny thing. Seeing the amount of mobile phones down in the cesspit.
So they
people obviously get in the toilet drunk and drop them.
You see, I've never dropped my phone down the toilet, but yeah, I admit I sit there with it, tap it away while I'm sitting.
Yeah, well, I suspect that 150,000 other people are doing exactly the same thing. Because, yeah, it's funny. There's a lot of mobile phones lost in those toilets, that's for sure. But, but it's an experience like no other.
Well, you could go in there. If you had like a litter picker like what I've got, you could probably fish some of those out, give them a good wash and sell them on there.
Well, the depth of these pits, I think you probably need a crane to get right down to the bottom. Unless the shit, piles up and it kind of starts floating, I guess you could probably pick them off the top. But, yeah, somebody could make a fortune emptying those things out.
What have you got in your You got 4G in your caravan or something in your mobile?
Yeah, I've got Wi-Fi here. I bought a proper router, so I've got internet and really fast broadband actually.
Who are you with? 3?
Pardon?
Who are you with?
My mobile, the broadband is 3.
Yeah.
But I've also got my phone, which I use as well for something. So I flip between the two. The phone is 0.2 and the broadband is 3. And weirdly, in this area, I never have a problem with 0.2. I've been with them for 20 years. Never had an issue with 0.2. But here, when I got here, I had no signal. But this Wi-Fi thing that I bought, which is fantastic because it means I can set up all my Wi-Fi cameras. I can have all my games, anything like that running. It makes such a difference.
That's what I've got up at the caravan. That's how I do my shows from up there. What do you
pay, Chris? I mean,
there's no
cable.
Who are you with
and what do you pay?
There's no cable. It all comes over the 4G.
That's mine.
I've got exactly the same as you. A 3 router box, which incidentally is on special offer at the moment. They're doing 6 months for £11. Believe it or not.
How much? What speed is the router itself? How many megabytes per second?
Yes, as well as having the router, I got my brother-in-law to put up an external aerial for it. Which router have you got? Huawei.
Oh, Huawei, yeah, that's what I've got.
You got Huawei? Has it got...
Yeah, Huawei router.
Has it got 2 sockets for an external aerial on the back somewhere? They may have a bit of rubber over the top of them so you can't see them.
There are... I don't know what those sockets are, actually. I don't know. Maybe.
They look like something and you would screw something onto them. They don't look like sockets, actually. They just look like 2 bits of metal. With a screw
right,
thing.
Let me have a look. Maybe. No, I don't think there is on that actually. But I know you can get the extenders because I was here I don't need it. I get
no good
4
to you.
5 bars, but I was considering getting it.
But if you've got a fast speed now, that's fine. Anyway, so I had an aerial put up for my router, and it plugs into the router, and I can get 45 down and about 25 up.
That's pretty good. Yeah,
which is fine.
That's not far off mine, actually, yeah. But Huawei are really good. I was a bit sceptical about it because I've heard all these stories about Huawei being spies for the Chinese government.
I'm sure you haven't got any nuclear secrets or anything like that to hide from people. I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah, well, I wasn't. He went up. Well, the way I got into this, somebody, because I was thinking about it, and somebody had actually bought this particular router, and he lent it to me for a couple of hours. And so I was able to give it a good run and test it in terms of speed and what I could, because I can hook like 32 things up to this thing without affecting the performance, So it was a slightly bigger one. But once I tested it, I realised how good it was. I bought one straight away, and I've not looked back since. It's been amazing to be able to,
I've got a TP-Link router because when when 3, they were giving out a different type of router, not the one that you've got. and they kept going wrong. And in the, I did a bit of a search on the Google, and it's the router, and I looked at various people suggested things, so I bought a TP-Link one, started using that, and that fixed the problem. And then
they are good.
And then a little
The
bit further on down the line, I did some more searching around, and it said if you improve the signal by putting up an external aerial. So my brother-in-law put up an external aerial outside, which sits above the caravan about 3 or 4 feet up, like that, on a pole, and it doubled my speeds. Doubled, because of course in a caravan or a car, you are in a Faraday cage.
Yeah. Well, especially in this thing. These prison bosses are built. I mean, the walls are, I don't know how many inches thick, but they're really thick and like stainless steel framed. So I have the problem in here with my phone signal. But as soon as I fitted the router, I was able to use, which is what I'm calling you on now, Wi-Fi calling. So it cuts out any problem with issues with my network provider from my phone itself. So it was a godsend, absolute godsend.
Much better. Wow.
Well, thank you.
Thank you ever so much for calling in, Steve. What a fascinating phone call. You've taught me about diesel heaters today, and I'm sure one or two other people with their routers and what have you have got the same as I've got there. Marvellous.
Yeah, no, they're absolutely fantastic. It's been lovely talking to you, Chris. I think it's been at least over a year since we chatted.
Oh yeah. And, more importantly than anything you've said now, you sound happy.
Oh, did I not sound happy before?
Yeah, yes, you sounded happy before, but you sound happy in what you're doing, so I'm really pleased for you, Steve.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a labour of love. It's around, as I say, it's ongoing, but it's going to be finished in the next few months, and then I should be touring in the damn thing, enjoying all these little gadgets I've fitted to it, and God knows what else. I'm looking forward to it.
I've got a message from you here. Maureen wants to say hello to you. Maureen's watching.
Oh, Maureen, I miss you. I've got our picture up of me and you in Central Station. I've got the picture up right here. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Oh, Maureen, I miss her so much. But I miss that whole Monday night crew. I mean, it was such a fabulous time, and such fabulous singers were going. You had coming down. I mean, sometimes it was honestly like watching an actual show. I think it was a chap called Matt Gardner.
Yes,
you still hear from him?
Great singer.
Oh, what an amazing voice.
Great singer.
And I never forget. There was somebody who used to go quite regular. There was a tall, I want to say Filipino lady who was highly entertaining.
Lady Phoenix.
Yes, that's the one.
Right.
You still hear from
her and her boyfriend, Lady Phoenix and Dave was her boyfriend. Really good looking and tall.
I remember him. He wasn't he? He got a beard. I remember that
They have a bar.
It reminded me a bit of Ryan Reynolds. He looked a bit like Ryan Reynolds.
Well, they've got a bar now. They've actually got a bar somewhere. I can't remember exactly where it is. Somewhere in North London. And they do karaoke nights there. But they've got a big, massive stage, sound system, lights, the lot.
Oh, wow. Maybe that might be worth a visit at some point.
I can't remember the life of me.
North London, or
North. I think it's Totteridge. I believe it's next. It's near a tube. Is there a Totteridge tube station?
There might be. It sounds familiar, but I don't remember. I've never been there.
I believe it's very close to that. Hang on, let me find out what the name of it is.
So Edgware Way. It must be Edgware Way.
Stay there a minute and I'll have a look. See if I can find this now. Let's.
And who else was that? Martin. Do you remember Martin always sang Frank Sinatra?
Oh God, yeah.
Martin.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who else
used
there. Well, I guess it wasn't that long ago,
but. Come on, where are you now? Zodiac. It's called the Zodiac Bar.
Oh.
All right.
Is it the station? Oh, yeah, I see it, Totteridge and Whetstone, so it's the end of the Northern Line.
Is it? Oh, you know where it is, do you?
Barnet. Yeah, it's Finchley, it's the end of the Northern Line, so it's the last station before High Barnet, so it's right in the Northern, the Totteridge.
Right, I'm just trying to find exactly where it is. Zodiac Bar, London, here we go.
Well, that'd be nice and easy to get to anyway on the tube.
Here we are. Oh, hang on a minute. Zodiac Bar, London. Oh, come on. Where is the blooming address then? Oh, Zodiac Bar. Oh, there's a website. Hang on. Website. Website. Oh, undergoing maintenance. Oh well.
Well, that's quite cool that they've done that. Yeah, that's quite
Sure,
cool.
is
She was
the
suddenly a
About?
character in Central Station, I remember.
Here we are. 2A Dartmouth Park Road, NW5. Tufnell Park.
NW5, I said it's Kentish Townish. Tufnell Park.
It says
okay.
Tufnell
I don't
Park.
know it, but I'll have a look at
Looks
it later.
like that's the station. I mean, let me just try and zoom into this for you. Yeah. It seems to be in the middle of Junction Road and Dartmouth Park Hill. Does that mean
I know where
anything to
Dartmouth
you?
Park Hill is. Oh, okay. Well,
The only-
yeah, maybe
I
we'll have to
can't-
visit when I get back home.
It doesn't actually
Um,
have the tube stations on this map, but there's like, is it in Tufnell Park? There's looks like there's a place where 5 roads meet in like a star shape.
Oh, right.
Does that mean
Oh,
something
okay.
to you? No, maybe not.
I'm not. The only time I really went to Tufnell Park was driving through it, so I don't really.
Oh, right, yeah.
I don't really. I've not really headed up that way for
Is it a
any
bit
reason.
rough
so
there?
I've just.
I think it's rough.
Oh, it just started snowing here, Chris. I just thought I'd share that with
Oh,
you.
is it? Oh.
Yeah, it has literally just started snowing. Looking out the window now, and yeah,
Well,
wonderful.
you'll be all right with your diesel heater, won't you?
Yeah, I don't. The cold weather doesn't bother me. It doesn't impact what I'm doing here anyway. As
Good.
I say, this thing, they call it a sweat box. They've got a reputation being a sweat box, and they really can get that way when the heating's on
You've
full.
got a
so.
diesel heater on. I might have to get one of those as well. Then there's a little
They're
backup thing.
Chris, they're cheap and they're really easy to install. And running them, I mean, mine works off of the main petrol tank, the main fuel tank for the bus itself. So I just put it in the fuel cap and fill it up that way. But some of these Chinese ones you can get, they're like 80, 90 pounds, and you have a separate little fuel tank, so you can see
right?
exactly what's going on with it. As I say, very easy to install and ridiculously economical. I mean, yeah, they just for the price of diesel compared with electricity, it works out very economical too.
Where is the hole that lets the heat in then? Presumably the machine's outside, is it?
Well, you have the way they work is you've got one pipe that sucks in the air, and then you have another exhaust. So they go out. So if you were to fit the heater under a seat, perhaps, for instance, the diesel heater would sit there. It would use the air around it for blowing over the heat exchange, but then it sucks fresh air in from outside. So you have a hole going outside. 2 holes rather going outside, one to suck in air and one to blow out the exhaust fumes. And yeah, and that's it. They are amazing though. Highly recommend them.
Oh wow. Okay.
It was YouTube, I think, that got me into it. I think that's how I've discovered these diesel heaters, because they use them for yachts and boats and barges, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so I've pinched a lot of ideas off of them, because obviously
Nothing
barges
wrong with
and
that,
boats
dear.
are
If you're getting ideas from someone else, that's fine, isn't it?
Oh, if it works, I'm all in. So, but it's amazing how many tips you can pick up from watching or from seeing videos where people have built barges or boats or that kind of thing. So, even down to the windows you can buy. You can buy proper triple glazed opening windows that they fit onto barges. And I was thinking about doing the same for this. I've tried to build this off grid as well, so I've got a huge solar panel on the roof. In fact, it does run off grid. I've just recently bought a low watt fridge so that I can just run it off the pure sunshine. So it costs me nothing to run it unless
Fantastic.
I'm using the electricity.
That's amazing,
so I
isn't
can
it?
park it anywhere and have lights and heat and have no problem.
Absolutely amazing, Steve. An absolute pleasure talking to you on the show. You've informed us of lots of things today. Great.
Thank you, because I watch often, and occasionally I get the urge to dial, and sometimes I get the balls to do it. So that was what today was. Yeah, just waking up and
Steve.
thinking.
Good luck
So
to you
that
then.
time of year to wish Chris a happy New Year, and happy New Year to everybody
you.
watching, and
lots of
especially
love.
to Maureen. Love you, Maureen, and I miss you.
And lots of love to your little dog.
Hey, Lola. Thank you, Chris. I'll speak to you soon. Take care.
Bye bye now. Bye, Steve.
See you later. Bye-bye.
There you are.
Bye.
Steve and Lola, I'm sure, in the background there. Going to close the lines there now, boys and girls. All right. I can't believe the time. 11:45. Look at the time. Let's read some of your messages coming in there. Maureen says, Casualty tonight. Excellent. It's back at last. Casualty tonight at 7:35. The Will at 8:30. Fantastic. And that's straight after Casualty. What a great night's entertainment now on BBC One. Let's have the entertainment we used to have on BBC One on Saturday nights. Good morning to Michael Lawrence, who says it's a cold morning there. Hope things are going well. Yes, very, very well indeed. Thank you very much for saying that. Hello to Stuart, who says Happy New Year, Chris. Enjoying the casual chat show this morning. Good health and happiness for 2021. And that's from Ash Stewart in Germany. Good morning, Stuart. John says all those things are not allowed on his site, the diesel generators and all that. Yeah, that's because he wants the money for the electricity by the sound of things. We've got a picture just been sent in from... Oh, you silly sod. I've just closed my email client down. Oh, there he is. From... Who is this? Silentistic Gaming. I don't know who you are. Silentistic Gaming. That's probably one of our regular viewers who's got an email that isn't anything to do with his name. So you never know who it is. You get that a lot on YouTube, actually. You know, when you see people's YouTube's names. And they're regular people that would message the show. But because the name doesn't refer to the YouTube name, well, not so much now because I don't use the chat box, but it was difficult to know who they were. Oh, you must know who I am. No idea. Here we go. Look, it's sent in a Dalek. That's his. Hello, Chris. Hope you like my United Kingdom Talk Dalek. It was a present from my partner at Christmas. Check that out, eh? That's fabulous, isn't it, eh? Look at that. Is that a full-size one? Look at that. And that's from Silentistic Gaming. So thank you very much, Mr. Silentistic Gaming. I love it. Really good, that. So we've done that. Foot cream done. I showed you my foot cream, didn't I, earlier on? My lavender foot cream. Any more texts? Send them through. Phone line's closed now. 020-8144-340. Oh, that's closed now, the phone line. Text number 07551 259 675. Just a few stories for you this morning then before we disappear. Elon Musk. 2021. A 2021 dystopia, they're saying here. This is in the Daily Star. It says, as the horror of 2020 has come to an end this year, the world could now be an even scarier place with Elon Musk's brain chip. Would you have a chip in your brain? Oh, but there's probably chips in the coronavirus injection. With Elon Musk's brain chip set to be implanted into a human by May. They're going to put a brain chip in someone. Elon Musk. I quite like him. I think he's a very clever man. He's horrendously rich. But, you know, with some of the stuff he's done, all the satellites that he's put up there to give us all internet, and he's trying to build a spaceship to go to Mars on all that business, isn't it? You need the money to be able to do this. I'm not jealous of people with loads and loads of money. Doesn't bother me in the slightest, especially if they do something with it. What I do not understand is like people who collect billions of pounds and it's just sitting there in the bank. What on earth is the point of that? Just so that you can say you are the richest person in the world. Whoopie-doo, I'm so excited for you. And we all want enough money to I just want enough money to be able to do what I want to do. Do you know what I mean? I don't need to have thousands sitting in the bank. You have to have a little bit of money in the bank just in case something goes wrong. Like the last 10 months, you know. Fortunately, I've been okay. Why? Because I was always very careful. Always very careful. Well, this man spends his money. He spends his money on great ideas that he's got. But I'm not so sure about the brain chip one. It says, in August, Elon Musk unveiled a pig who had one of his chips planted in its brain, and he reckons the devices, that are the Neuralink devices that he claims will boost brain functionality, will be inserted into human heads in 2021. But what will it do? Will it be able to control us then? Will we be able to be controlled? He told a podcast, there's still a lot of work to do. So when I say, you know, we've probably got a shot at putting it in a person, you know, within a year. Okay? So he reckons within a year. I think that's exactly what I mean. I think we have a chance of putting an input in one end, having them be healthy and restoring some functionality that they've lost. So possibly something like this, maybe someone with dementia, Alzheimer's disease. Stuff that involves your nerves maybe, or your brain not working properly. So perhaps people can't use their arms, multiple sclerosis, something like that. Maybe they'll be able to put a chip in that brain, and then suddenly someone can talk again, or move their arms, or be able to walk. Wouldn't that be fantastic if we could do that? These people running around in their little wheelchairs, the people who have to be in wheelchairs, not the people who don't have to be in wheelchairs, because we all know those. There's a lot of those going around. The people who have actually got something actually wrong with them, and they can't do stuff. Just to put a chip in their heads and watch them be able to see again. Or perhaps someone who was never able to see in the first place. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Simply open your head, put the chip in, wire it in. I don't know what they do, how it works. And then they wake up and they can see or hear. Wow. The story goes in this star. The chip will focus on curing neurological conditions like Alzheimer's, dementia and other medical issues. But he also believes it could add a layer of super intelligence to the human brain. And God knows, perhaps they could put one of these chips in those idiots who are shouting outside hospitals, screaming that there's no coronavirus. Knock them all out, stick a chip in, give them some bloody intelligence. He previously said this has been a very good purpose, which is to cure important diseases and ultimately to secure humanity's future as a civilization relative to artificial intelligence. But he's not alone in fearing AI after a year of rapid development. Deep fakes. Now, I didn't see the Channel 5 Queen's speech, but did they not use a deep fake thing where she was dancing, or was that just on the internet I saw? It was on YouTube. I saw this picture of the Queen giving a speech, and then she gets up and starts dancing. Well, you're very hard to not tell that it was actually fake. It's very clever. You imagine someone dodgy getting hold of, I don't know, Prime Minister Boris Johnson and making some sort of speech that he didn't actually make just to get your own thoughts across. I think someone like Owen Jones would do that, wouldn't he? Pretty boy Owen Jones, you know him, don't you? Hey, he's the little mouth he get. I quite fancy him, actually. He's got his own YouTube channel now. All he does, she does her hair and everything before she goes on there. Deep fakes are predicted to wreak havoc on society after a year of politicians and celebrities eerily depicted in fabricated videos. You can find them all on YouTube. Look up the Queen. Just type in, I don't know, the Queen deep fake. You'll come across some things of our beautiful Queen saying and doing stuff, and you think, she's not really doing that. But it's that good that you can't tell. That's how good it is. I mean, I can see in years to come people would pretend to be me, you know, being as I'm like hugely famous, international megastar. People could pretend to be me. You could be watching this and suddenly I could swear. But then you'd know it wasn't me because I don't swear. Or now and again an accidental words come out, but not purposely, you know what I mean? It says 9 months later, in January 2019, deep fakes were buggy and flickery. You could tell, said a professor. And deep fake experts were talking about that. They said they weren't very good. 9 months later, I've never seen anything like how fast they're going. This is the tip of the iceberg, he added. Flying cars are also set to be launched this year. That's what Elon Musk's saying. They could be on sale by May. Flying cars. I mean, you wouldn't be able to afford one. I don't suppose I would be able to afford one. But maybe we could take one as a taxi. Flying cars. No traffic. I mean, the journey from here to my Lincolnshire television media hub takes me about 3 hours. Got to follow the roads. What if I could get a flying taxi there or a flying car? Wouldn't take 3 hours then, would it? Take about an hour probably to travel from here to my caravan. How fantastic would that be? It also says many fear AI will spark mass unemployment, which will fill people with dread after the pandemic wiped out millions of jobs around the world, which indeed it did. So I don't know what you think about that. Will you be having a chip implanted in your brain, perhaps? Adam the plumber's with us. Good morning, Adam. Who says, morning, please you could wish Sam Howard on the Isle of Wight a very happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, Sam. Happy birthday, Sam, on the Isle of Wight. Do you want me to send Shania around? She can do a rendition of Happy Birthday on the violin if you want. There we are. The Olympics, they want the Olympics to happen. In the Daily Mail this morning, Japan has insisted that the Olympics will go ahead in 2021, despite rising fears that coronavirus disruption will stretch into the summer. It depends, doesn't it, really, whether they're able to get the old vaccine out quickly enough. I would assume by the summer it would be going. If everything goes to plan, I would assume by the summer, because really you've got to vaccinate the entire world, haven't you? How are they going to do that? That will be one of humanity's greatest achievements, perhaps. Not just us, poor countries as well. Oh, yes. You know, some of these rich people, we won't bother with the people in Africa. Well, what about when you go to Africa for a holiday? You'll catch it off someone then. No, you have to do the whole world. Everyone has to be done. Don't they? The country's Prime Minister, shall I try and say the name? Yoshihide Suga. Shall I say that in Japanese? Yoshihide Suga! Yoshihide Suga! Is that how you say it in Japanese? Said the games will be held this summer and promised they will be safe and secure. And, of course, we missed that, don't we? Didn't we? The Olympics last year. I don't watch sport very much at all. But I do dip in out of the Olympics when it's on. You remember the London Olympics? How long ago was that now? 9 years? God, where's that gone? Was it 9 years, the London Olympics? Because we've had one since then, haven't we? Where was that? I can't even remember now. There we are. Well, I did have some more stories here. But we've had such good phone calls come in there. We kind of run out of time a bit, really. We're coming up to 2 hours now, and I don't want to go on and on. I don't want to be accused of going on and on past my sell-by date, if you don't mind. Now, I should have had my other music up here, which I haven't got. So let me just try and see if I can find that there. Will I find that? Oh, yes, I will. There it is. So that can go on there now. And that's all ready. Right, I'm going to disappear now, gang. Thank you very much for joining us on the show today. We'll be back with another chat show for you on Wednesday night at 8 p.m, okay? That's regular, so every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. we now do a chat show. The bingo will come back at some point soon, all right? That will be in its usual place on a Sunday night. Not yet, though. I've got people asking me, telling me that they haven't got their bingo tickets yet. The reason is it hasn't restarted yet, but we will restart that soon. Oh, we've got a little call here from Adrian Richardson. Good morning, Adrian. Morning to you, Adrian. He's just sent in a little email there and says, good show this morning. Thank you, Adrian. Let's just clear up these fast last messages and stuff. Oh, Stephen has now sent in. Here we go. Oh, that's handy. Stephen sent in a picture of his prison bus. This is something he's building himself. Well, he's built himself and he's adding bits to it. Absolutely fascinating phone call from him earlier. If you weren't here earlier, scroll back to about 11:15, I would say. And you're here, Stephen. Absolutely fascinating phone call from him. Here's his prison bus. He's just sent this now. Look at that. It's great. Isn't that great? And he lives in it. He's up in Warwickshire at the moment on a farm. Not a bad lifestyle, is it, eh? Living somewhere like that. Got no one to answer to. He's got his diesel heater, which I'll look into. I think I might have a little look into. Sounds a very good way of cheaply heating your caravan or whatever it is, doesn't it? Hey. Anyway, so I'll see you again for another chat show on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. I do a radio show as well, just in case you don't know about that. There might be someone new today. Now, my radio show is Monday to Friday between 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. Now, I did do a new poster for that. Did I put that on there? I seem to have forgotten to do an awful lot of things, to be honest. 1 minute. Hang on, that's the wrong thing I've done there. Can you hear that? That's going to change now. Hang on a minute. Let's see if that's on here. I bet it's not. Scene. Is it scene 2? Hang on a minute. No, cancel. Doesn't matter. Does it matter? I bet I haven't put that on there either. No, I haven't. Oh, what an idiot. I haven't put that on there either. Never mind. But you know where it is. Monday to Friday, 9 till 10 in the morning. It's music and chat. It's a lot of fun. I try and make it fun, okay? We have a little bit of a laugh on there. 9 to 10 every morning. And you can find that by going to reachonair.com. Reachonair.com. You can listen on the smart speaker if you've got one of those. Amazon, okay? Go into your Amazon app, all right? And enable the skill Reach on Air. That's the name of the skill. Once you've enabled that, just close it and you say to your Amazon device, Amazon, play Reach on Air, and it should play it through your smart speaker. Also available on Google Mini Speaker and Siri as well. When you finish the show today, just say to your Siri, say to her, play Reach on Air, and she should play it for you. Watch this, watch. Hey Siri, play Reach on Air.
Reach on Air now playing. Dalmatian music, and we're going to hear from Mary Osmond amongst many others. Okay, right, we're now going to go to that poll. Now, the 3 scores from the poll, so the number of people that voted for these songs, the song in third place got 24, the song in second place got 32, and the winning song got 89 points, so quite a lead. So we start off with the 4 Seasons, I hope, if I can find it.
Oh, that'd be Frankie Valli. Oh, what a night! I get. I just have to stop that because I'm not allowed to play music on here. We get cut off. All right, so I think that's Clive on there at the moment. So it's as simple as that. See, you just say, "Hey, Siri, play Reach on Air," and she just plays it. Isn't that fantastic? How you can do that? That's absolutely amazing. So that's how you can listen. I'm sorry, I've set Shania's phone off. Sorry, Shania. Shania says thank you for the show today, and thank you for the messages. Alrighty, so join us Monday to Friday, 9 to 10 o'clock in the morning. Reachonair.com. Have a lovely Saturday. Been a pleasure sitting here chatting away to you this morning. If you're one of those people that hang around right till the very, very bitter end, and we are very, very bitter here at United Kingdom Talk, you will notice a new little logo come up at the end with the date on there for your entertainment and enjoyment. Have a lovely day. Thanks for watching and listening. I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.